Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Thomas Spark. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a Surfshark review for 2025, but this time around I'm going to be doing things a little bit different. I'm going to be just kind of discussing the most common questions I've seen about Surfshark, so if you're trying to decide if you should buy this VPN, this video is for you. Now you might be wondering, well Tom, why aren't you doing a traditional review for this VPN provider? Well, I think I might be just doing different reviews in the future for all VPN providers. That's because on my website, vpnsurfshark.com, I've collected and aggregated all this data over the years, analyzing every single feature and application thing and everything like that. And at the end of the day, if I cover each one of these things, it's going to be like a 30-minute video. But the information is all freely available here for you to check out. And always, every VPN is rated objectively on vpntierlist.com. If you click on these links, you get discount codes, or if you want to buy Surfshark after watching this video, you could click the link in the description down below for my affiliate link. The bonus is it will help support the channel, and also you get a discount, so it's a win-win. You actually get one extra free month as well as a discount. The discount's kind of always running, just to be upfront with you guys. Even without my link, you'll get that discount. Just with the link, you'll get an extra month, so that is the bonus there. It's around $60 for 27 months, and you can get the other plans if you want as well. So discussing pricing, let's just jump into the review right now. So guys, one of the most common questions I see when it comes to Surfshark is which plan should I get? And in fact, this is a very common question with all VPN providers, since a lot of VPN providers nowadays provide different plans for you to choose from. And it can be hard to decide which one to pick and which is the best value. When it comes to Surfshark, they have their core plan, which is the starter plan. This just includes VPN. So if you want to anonymize your internet, anonymize your torrent traffic, this is the plan to pick. However, if you're invested into privacy and you want to invest in the Surfshark's ecosystem, the one plan is not a bad choice either. And in fact, this includes antivirus. It's actually built into the VPN, one of the few VPNs that actually has it built in. I would say it's probably the best antivirus provided by any VPN. And it's actually gotten very good scores from reputable kind of antivirus kind of review websites. And in fact, it is certified by avtest.org, which is, like I said, a pretty reputable website, getting a top product 6 out of 6 in terms of protection, 6 out of 6 in terms of usability, and 5.5 out of performance. And this was June 2024, so they might have even improved it since then. So it's actually a pretty good value if you're already looking and shopping around for antivirus, and you only have to pay around $10 over the span of 27 months to get that package. So I think that's a pretty good deal. But again, if you don't need antivirus, you might just want to go for the starter plan. Lastly, they have the OnePlus Plan, which actually includes a service called Incogni. Now this is $115 for 27 months, which is around a $50 increase in price. But I do think that's also a very good deal. What is Incogni? Well, Incogni is basically one of those websites that removes your information for data broker websites, sites like white pages. There's like 200 of them out there. If you go individually to each one, you have to send like 5 emails to each one. It's going to take a lot of time. And basically that's what this service does. It removes that time from you. You just give them the money and they'll do it for you. And it basically means you're less likely to get doxxed. If someone knows your name, they can't find your address, your family members, etc. You can even sign up for a family plan. Now you can just purchase this separately. It's kind of like a separate product from Surfshark. But if you get the OnePlus plan, you do get it bundled in. So that's kind of an interesting incentive. Without it, it's around $90 for a year, $90 annually. So the OnePlus plan, you get $115 for 27 months, and it includes Surfshark, antivirus, and Incogni. That's a pretty good deal. But again, if you don't want to get those extra things, you don't have to. Next up, another question I see about the pricing system is, does Surfshark charge monthly? Well, actually, no. You're paying $60 up front. So think of it like buying a year's worth of Xbox Live. You're not going to be paying $5 a month. You're just going to be paying a flat fee in the beginning. And then after a year, you'll be charged that next price. So that's how it works. However, if you do want to get month to month, it's actually considerably more expensive. This is very pricey. It's actually more expensive than NordVPN, so I definitely don't think it's worth going month to month just because it gets too pricey. However, that said, you can also get a year plan for around $48. The pricing isn't as compelling or as good long term, but still you're not paying quite as much up front, so it's really up to you. Another thing to look out for, another comment I see, does Surfshark auto renew after this term? Well, yes, after probably 26 to 27 month range. They're going to be kind of emailing you and letting me know you know that they're going to renew the pricing at probably a new term. Most VPNs give you this discount for the first term, and then after that they raise the price a little bit to kind of recoup some of those costs from subscribers. So that's just something to look out for. Make sure to turn off auto renewal and Surfshark's account dashboard if that's something you're worried about. Now, one other question I do see a lot is, why should I get Surfshark over NordVPN? Well, most of the reviewers out there won't actually tell you that they're kind of like sister companies. They're owned by kind of a similar company called Tutanota. They do kind of operate independently and they have a lot of differences, but people can kind of get confused when they find that out, saying like, why should I buy one or the other? Or they might not even know that they are kind of owned by similar people. Well, that's because they are kind of different in a lot of ways. If you're someone who's looking for antivirus with VPN, I would say Surfshark is the one to choose. Or if you especially want incognito, Surfshark, again, the bundled option is probably one of the best bundled options from any VPN provider. That said, NordVPN specifically for certain things is better. They have this cool mesh networking kind of thing, which lets you set up like a local network and you can remote into it if you want to share access to your media server or just access it remotely. They also have a SOCKS 5 proxy, which is really good. You could just anonymize your BitTorrent IP without having to turn your VPN on. Surfshark doesn't offer those features, but for most everything else, they are competitive. And that's why they're so similarly scored on my VPN tier list, only around 1.2 points behind for those little features there. That said, Surfshark is also a little bit cheaper than NordVPN, around $60 for 27 months for the core plan, and Nord is around $81 for 28 months. So it's very similar there in terms of pricing, but Surfshark is just slightly cheaper, around 20 bucks or so. So that's another reason why you might want to go with Surfshark. Another question I see a lot is Surfshark easy to use? Am I going to be confused when I buy it? Should I even get it? Well, yes, Surfshark is very easy to use. In fact, it's one of the easiest VPNs to use out there alongside stuff like NordVPN. They put a lot of attention into tutorials and stuff like that. When you launch the app, it'll show you how to use it. The settings and stuff like that are clearly laid out. There's multiple apps on different platforms that are easy to use, whether that be Apple TV, Fire Stick, Android TV, all that kind of stuff. And they're all very easy to use. You get your account information in an email, I think. And then you just sign in and you just connect to a server nearby. And that's pretty much it for, the basic use case of a VPN. And Surfshark isn't harder to use than any VPN out there. In fact, I would say it's actually probably easier to use than some VPNs out there. Another question I see a lot is Surfshark a fast VPN provider? Well, yes, in my latest test, Surfshark is a very fast VPN provider, getting very, very good speeds along some of the top VPNs out there. And in fact, most of the times when I use it, I'll notice around 5% decrease in speeds, or actually less, usually less than 5%, maybe up to like 5 to 10 megabits per second. And I'm getting around 620 megabits per second. So it's really not even noticeable at all. I could connect and sometimes I forget I have it on because I don't actually notice it is on. Another question I see a lot is Surfshark a private VPN provider? Are they going to sell your data? Stuff like that. Well, no, Surfshark is not going to sell your data. And yes, it is a private VPN provider. Just last year, they were audited by Tutanota, which is a very, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's one of the big auditing firms. And it was assured to its users that they're not collecting any information on their users. And in fact, Surfshark does use RAM servers, which means the data is kind of purged very frequently, not really stored, and there's no capacity to store user data. So it is a very trustworthy VPN provider. It's never had any data leaks or any concerns like that. And while it is kind of merged with NordVPN, it's still owned by the original people. So that's an important metric I like to take a look at as well, just to make sure companies aren't just making this huge company and selling it off to someone else to collect and sell data, right? That's what we're all kind of worried about. And Surfshark is probably never going to sell because they are the biggest VPN provider alongside NordVPN. So it's like, who would they sell to? Probably no one. There's two more common questions I see a lot. One of them being, does Surfshark work with streaming restrictions and stuff like Netflix to let me bypass restrictions in various regions and let me watch extra content? And the answer to that is yes. Surfshark is very good at doing this, probably only second to NordVPN. And since it is cheaper, it's a very good value for doing that. I really can't notice too much of a difference between Nord and Surfshark when it comes to bypassing restrictions enforced by Netflix and stuff like that. If you switch to Japan, you'll be able to watch anime. If you switch to the United States, you'll be able to watch United States content and so forth. So it's a very good option for that. Lastly, guys, a common question I see, does Surfshark support the apps I need? And the answer to that, once again, is yes. They work with Linux. They actually have a GUI, I believe, for Linux, which is really nice. Not every VPN in the world has that. And in fact, most don't. So that's a very good, nice thing from Surfshark if you're a Linux user. and they have apps for all the other platforms too. So guys, now that we've come to the end of the review, are there any bad things about Surfshark? Is there anything you should watch out for? Well, not necessarily. I would say some of the cons, like I mentioned already, is that month to month is very expensive. It would be nice if they provided more flexibility to have cheaper pricing in the short term as well as long term. That's something that I would like to see. Additionally, after your first term, there will be an upcharge being more expensive, but that's something you can kind of avoid by turning off auto renewal and buying a new deal in that time period by coming back here and clicking on my link if you want, or not, you don't have to too. Just letting you know about that to save your money. Additionally, Surfshark still could flesh out the application a little bit more. I would like to see stuff like DNS controls so you could implement your own ad blocking into the application. Although Surfshark's ad blocking is among the best out there, and I even made a video testing it out and I was very impressed with it. They could also add other things like port forwarding. There's a certain torrent community out there that's obsessed with port forwarding, thinking it's the only way to get good speeds. While port forwarding does increase speeds, most VPN providers that do support it, really only VPN nowadays, don't actually have as big as servers as Surfshark and NordVPN, so you're actually going to get slower speeds with those VPNs. But again, it still would be nice to see that feature supported from Surfshark. I think a lot of VPNs don't implement that because it does kind of seem to increase the amount of seeders and kind of legal issues that happen with VPNs. So it seems like a lot of them are kind of avoiding it for that reason, which is kind of understandable. I think Surfshark could also improve some of the analytics on their website. I think they could use more open source analytics like Matamo Analytics or something like that. They do use Google Analytics to kind of track how users use their websites. I think all VPNs should be a little bit more privacy aware of some of those things, and some people do care about that. That's just something they could improve in the long run, and hopefully one day they kind of think about that. But it's not really a big deal, since once you buy the VPN and stuff like that, you'll never really go on the website, and they're just kind of collecting that information to kind of optimize the website and kind of optimize, you know, how the website works. But outside of that, not a big deal. Overall, guys, that's my final thoughts on Surfshark. If you want a more detailed kind of analysis, a breakdown of every single thing that's going on with the VPN, of course, you can always check out vpntierlist.com. Check out this data table. The score on the website is at 82. It's one of the only 2 VPNs in God tier right now. Anything above 80 is going to be in God tier, and only Surfshark and NordVPN are in this tier right now, as you can see on vpntierlist.com. Click my link in the description down below to get an extra month, like I said. And guys, thanks for checking out this video. Let me know down in the comments down below if you like Surfshark or a different VPN, and I'll see you again very soon.